Devon House reopens, but Reggae Mill remains closed. The local government minister, Devon Mackenzie, announced the reopening of the shops at Devon House in St. Andrew. However, Reggae Mill remains closed, following a weekend video of a party it organized in breach of the pandemic containment measures under the Disaster Risk Management Order. Mackenzie has stated that there was a meeting with the operators of the shops at Devon House, during which it was decided that the 25 operators other than Reggae Mill should not be penalized. The local government ministry has stated that Reggae Mill would be closed for 2 weeks. In addition, the entity will not be granted any amusement license for 4 to 6 weeks. The operations of Devon House will be closely monitored to see to it that the management of the entity takes all necessary steps to ensure that there are no further breaches of the protocol. According to the minister, the police have been given a list of venues operating in breach of the Disaster Risk Management Order, and they are being investigated with a view for prosecution. Mackenzie has appealed to Jamaicans to obey all the pandemic protocols. We are in the middle of a pandemic, and the government is resolute, and no violations of the public health protocols will be tolerated. Mackenzie also stated that he was encouraged by civic-minded Jamaicans who are reporting violators. He has also promised to deal with any reported breaches. Prior to the announcement of the reopening, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett had hinted that the lockdown of Devon House amid reports of breaches of pandemic legislation might not be protracted. He had stated that the government would hold talks with the management of the Devon House Development Company after a shutdown of one of Kingston's most popular parks amid breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act, which has banned the hosting of parties and has imposed strict social distancing protocols. The announcement was made on Sunday by the local government and community development minister, Devon Mackenzie, after social media videos went viral of parties reportedly being held there for weeks. The Devon House Development Company, which manages the park, falls within the purview of the Tourism Ministry. Mr. Bartlett had mentioned that the idea is to iron out protocols that must be adhered to in order to prevent the spread of the pandemic, explaining that the government wasn't considering a total shutdown. He also mentioned that there is a discussion that the Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Mr. Devon Mackenzie, would be having with the managers on July 6th. The problem that arose came from a dance night activity that took place there and that went viral on social media. The tourism minister further added that they would be examining the whole thing and that he had spoken with the Minister of Local Government and that they had a meeting, and this meeting would call for them both to look at how they would handle these things in the future and how they could structured to ensure that all persons operating within Devon House are compliant with the health protocols. Mr. Mackenzie had insisted that both uptown and downtown would play by the same rules. He had also warned on the weekend that party promoters will be held accountable. He also said that the evidence of breaches was clear. He mentioned that this is a breach of the ban on gatherings at places of amusement, as well as a breach of the nightly curfew hours. Even more disturbing is the fact that this event was promoted and has been attended by large numbers of people every Friday for a protracted period. Mackenzie had mentioned that he was surprised that the management of Devon House had permitted this event to happen, and that he is insisting on a formal explanation within 48 hours. Janet Taylor, executive director of the Devon House Development Company, declined to comment, but Carol Webster, operator of Devon House Ice Cream, was wary of the impact of a prolonged shutdown. It would be very unfortunate to have another lockdown in the middle of the summer when we are trying to get off our feet. It would be tragic and would have a domino effect on 7 other ice cream stores supplied by Devon House. Leave your feedback down below in regards to the reopening of the other 25 shops at Devon House, while excluding Reggae Mills and also them not receiving an amusement license for 6 weeks. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.